Hey you, yeah, you right there, scrolling late at night with that heavy feeling in your chest that won't let go. The one who's been pretending everything's okay all day, smiling at the world while inside you're screaming. What if I told you that right now, in this exact moment, a single text message could pull you out of the darkness and remind you that you're not as alone as you think? Stick with me until the very end, friend. Don't close the tab, don't swipe away. Because this story is yours too. It's about the quiet kid who tried to sleep, but one late-night message changed everything. Breathe deep, and let's begin. Picture this. It's past midnight in a sleepy Ohio suburb where the streetlights hum like distant whispers. Ethan Matthews, 17, lies in his bed staring at the cracked ceiling of his childhood room. The house is quiet, too quiet. His parents are already asleep downstairs, exhausted from another double shift at the factory. His older sister Mia is home from college for the weekend, laughing with her best friend Hannah in the guest room earlier that evening. But Ethan? He's invisible again. Always has been. The middle child no one notices. School feels like a battlefield he's losing, grades slipping, friends drifting away to bigger dreams, and that constant voice in his head whispering, "You're not enough." He pulls the blanket over his head, phone on silent, willing sleep to come and steal him away from it all. But then, his phone lights up. One message. From Hannah. The girl he's barely spoken 10 words to in his life. The words glow in the dark, "Come downstairs. Now." His heart jumps. What could she possibly want at 1:17 a.m.? Is it a joke? A mistake? Or something that might just save him? Keep listening, because this is where the night stops being ordinary. Ethan sat up slowly, his bare feet hitting the cold wooden floor like a shock that grounded him back to reality. The text stared back at him, simple but urgent, no emojis, no explanation. Hannah's name at the top felt wrong. Why him? She was Mia's friend, the bubbly college sophomore with the perfect Instagram smile and the laugh that filled rooms. Ethan had watched her from the corner of his eye all weekend, helping his mom in the kitchen, teasing Mia about old high school stories, always moving like she belonged everywhere. He, on the other hand, had slipped through dinner like a ghost, mumbling "pass the salt" and retreating to his room before anyone could ask about his college applications. He slipped on a hoodie over his faded band tee, heart pounding louder than the creaky stairs he avoided on purpose. Down he went, past the family photos on the wall, pictures of Mia's soccer trophies, his parents' wedding day, and one blurry shot of him at age 10 holding a fish he'd caught once. Proof he existed, once. The kitchen light was on, soft and yellow, spilling into the hallway like a secret invitation. There she was, Hannah, sitting at the old oak table in borrowed pajamas, her dark hair messy from whatever she'd been crying about before the text. Her eyes were red-rimmed, but she looked up the second he stepped in, a small, relieved smile breaking through. "Ethan," she whispered, voice cracking just enough to make his stomach twist. "You came. I didn't know if you would." He stood there frozen, hands shoved in his pockets, the awkwardness thick as the midnight air. Yeah. Your text sounded serious. Everything okay? Mia asleep?" His mind raced, maybe she needed help with something practical, like borrowing his charger or figuring out the Wi-Fi. Anything but this weird tension humming between them. Hannah nodded toward the chair across from her, pushing a half-empty mug of tea his way. "Mia crashed hours ago. Your parents too. Sit. Please." She paused, fingers tracing the rim of her mug like she was holding onto something fragile. "I saw you at dinner tonight. The way you stared at your plate, like you were counting the seconds until you could disappear. I know that look. God, I know it too well." Ethan's throat tightened. No one had ever called him out like that, not his counselor at school who just handed him pamphlets, not his sister who was too busy chasing her own future. He wanted to bolt back upstairs, pretend this was a dream. But something in her eyes, raw, honest, scared, kept him planted. "I was just tired," he lied, voice flat. "Long week. Exams, you know." She her head, not buying it for a second. Tired doesn't make someone look like they're carrying the whole world alone. "I texted you because I couldn't sleep either. And honestly, I'm drowning, Ethan. Everyone thinks I've got it all together, college, friends, that fake perfect life online. But downstairs in your kitchen at 1 a.m., I'm just a girl who feels invisible too. Like if I vanished tonight, no one would notice for days." Her voice broke on the last word, and she wiped her eyes quickly, as if ashamed. The words hit Ethan like a wave he didn't see coming. Invisible. That word had lived in his chest for years, since the day his best friend moved away sophomore year, since his dad started working doubles and stopped asking about his day, since the guidance counselor told him, "Boys don't cry about this stuff." He'd tried everything to push it down, late-night gaming to numb the noise, forcing smiles at school dances he hated, even journaling once before tearing the pages up in rage. But here was Hannah, this near stranger, cracking open the exact same wound. They talked in fragments at first, safe stuff. How the house smelled like his mom's apple pie from earlier, how Ohio winters felt endless this year, how Mia had bragged about his old guitar playing but he hadn't touched the instrument in months. Ethan felt his shoulders loosen, just a little. For the first time in forever, someone was listening without fixing him. The clock ticked past 2 a.m., and the awkwardness melted into something warmer, like the first crack of dawn after a storm. But deeper shadows lingered in both their eyes, challenges neither had named yet. Ethan's chest ached with the pressure of his failing grades and the secret fear that college was a pipe dream for a kid like him. Hannah carried her own weight, the breakup that left her questioning everything, the constant scroll of perfect lives on her phone that made her feel like a fraud. Neither ran. Neither hid. And in that quiet kitchen, with the fridge humming softly in the background, two broken pieces started to fit in a way neither expected. But the real storm? It was just beginning. By 3 a.m., the tea had gone cold, but the conversation had grown roots, deep, tangled, terrifyingly real. Hannah leaned forward, elbows on the table, her voice dropping to a whisper that felt like a confession. "I almost didn't send that text. I was upstairs staring at the window, thinking, what if I just stepped out? No one would know until morning. Mia's my best friend, but even she doesn't see how much I'm faking it. The smiles, the stories, the 'I'm fine' texts. Pressure from my parents, from school, from everyone expecting me to be the strong one. And then I saw you at dinner, quiet Ethan, carrying the same weight in your shoulders. I thought, if I reach out to him, maybe I'm not as alone as I feel." Ethan's hands trembled around his mug. He'd never told anyone the full truth, not even himself in the mirror. But her honesty cracked him open like a dam breaking. "You're not alone," he said, the words surprising him with their strength. I feel it every day. Like I'm screaming in a crowded room and no one turns around. School's a nightmare, teachers pushing AP classes like my future depends on it, but my brain just shuts down. Dad keeps saying, 'Man up, Mom's too tired to notice,' and Mia? She's got her own life now. I lie in bed every night wondering if anyone would even miss me if I stopped trying." Tears stung his eyes for the first time in years, hot and unashamed. He didn't wipe them away. Hannah reached across the table, her hand hovering near his before gently covering it. "No pity, just connection. That's the lie the darkness tells us, Ethan. That we're invisible. But look, we're here. Two people who barely know each other, sharing the parts we hide from the world. I've been fighting this alone for months after my ex left and my grades tanked. Social media makes it worse, everyone posting their highlights while I'm scrolling through my lowest moments. But tonight? You answered. You came down. That small thing, it's saving me right now. They talked for hours more as the sky outside lightened to a soft gray. Ethan shared the panic attacks he hid in the bathroom at school, the way he'd started avoiding mirrors because his own reflection looked like a stranger failing everyone. Hannah opened up about the nights she cried in her dorm until her roommate knocked on the wall, the fear that her perfect life was just a mask cracking under pressure. They laughed through the tears too, silly memories of Mia's terrible cooking, the time Ethan accidentally set off the fire alarm making popcorn as a kid. Challenges that once felt insurmountable started to shrink in the telling. Ethan's grades? They could rebuild, one tutor session at a time. Hannah's loneliness? She realized asking for help wasn't weakness, it was courage. As the first birds chirped outside and the kitchen filled with soft morning light, Hannah smiled, real, tired, but glowing. We don't have to fix everything tonight. But we can promise this, no more silent battles alone. Text me anytime. I'll text you. We'll check in. Because feeling invisible? It ends when someone sees you. Ethan nodded, chest lighter than it had been in years. He walked her back upstairs quietly, pausing at her door. Thank you for the text, he whispered. I thought I was going to sleep through another empty night. You changed that. She hugged him quick and fierce. We changed it together. Dawn broke fully as Ethan climbed back into bed, phone now buzzing with a new message from Hannah. Sleep well, friend. You matter. See you at breakfast. He smiled into his pillow, the weight lifting like fog burning off. The challenges weren't gone, life's pressures, the loneliness, the doubts, they'd still be there tomorrow. But now he had proof. One small act, one brave text, one honest conversation could spark hope where there was only darkness. And that's the truth I want you to carry with you, friend, the one who's still here at the end. You're not invisible. Your pain is real, your struggles matter, but so does your courage to keep going. Reach out tonight. Send that message. Answer the call. Because sometimes, the person downstairs waiting in the kitchen is you, saving yourself by saving someone else. You matter more than you know. Hold on. The sun always rises. And if this story touched you, know that kindness, like Hannah's text, can rewrite any ending. You're seen. You're loved. Keep going.